have recently started doing more still life and fine art
Mm-hmm.
imagery. In my intro call with one of your sales team,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of going over like wanting to sell boudoir style portraiture. Do you feel like there's a good market for that with art storefronts, or do you feel like more like still life or fine art is the way to go?
Yeah, I mean, there's never any like magical answer to the question, you know.
Okay.
I've seen people do so well with niches that I would have thought like, are you out of your damn mind? I mean, let me give you an example. I've got a guy that grabs his tripod and his camera, goes into a park that I will not name that might or might not have something to do with a mouse, and takes
Okay.
photos. Okay, takes photos of the things at night and crushes it. I never would have known that was a thing in the slightest. So
Okay.
you can't let these little questions of like, should I do this niche or should I do that niche? You kind of just need to go into one and test. Now, what worries me about the boudoir ones is you have to be pretty creative because the social networks are getting a little bit gnarlier and a little bit gnarlier about
Yeah.
banning that stuff, right? So there's upsides and there's downsides to that. I mean, you could go that way. You could go completely 180 degrees the other way, right?
Hmm.
That's sort of the joy of being like working service-based photographer and then having the ability to go into the others too. So I don't know.
Okay.
There's no right answer to that question, right?
Okay.
The only answer is you'll never know until you start executing on it. So what have you done to sell the fine art prints? Let me turn it around on you.
Well, for me personally, I just went through a divorce.
Sorry to
So
hear that.
now I'm kind of like in a space where I can explore creatively in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
take more trips, do more things,
Mm-hmm.
take my camera along.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Kind of still finding my niche as far as what kind of art I want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of my photography career, I sold I was worked in the tree industry. So I had pictures of awesome tree roots, just
Mm-hmm.
really cool things. Sold some pieces early on and then went to boudoir and haven't really sold much since. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get back into it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that you're figuring it out when you're young because all service based photographers hit a wall on a point. I find, and they realize that like, wait a minute, I'm trading dollars for hours. There's only so high of a
Yeah.
ceiling I can go to on that. As I get older, I probably want to do that service based stuff less and less and less. And so the fact that you figured that out early is fantastic because it's going to take a while to grow the fine art portion of the business. It's best
Yeah.
to think of it as like a separate train on a separate track. But the fact that you're switched on to it now is awesome, and you don't even necessarily need to know what your niche is yet. You just need to start
Yeah.
executing and marketing and figuring it out. And you might stumble through 6 or 7 different things until you get there.
Yeah. Especially with being service based, I feel like maybe other people can relate to this if they're service based as well. But throughout COVID, I really realized that I needed multiple income streams. I
Oh,
needed
that's a
multiple ways
life
to make.
lesson. That is a life lesson, period, Brittany. Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 I would agree.
Yeah. You, you,
Well,
you,
thank
you,
you.
you want to start like initially with like a 3-legged stool because, like a stool is really hard to tip over. Anything with like 2 legs is pretty easy to tip over, but
Mm.
three, yeah. Um,
Well,
but you can do that, right? And like, one of the other things that service-based photographers miss on, okay, that infuriate the hell out of me, which again is a little bit harder in your line of work because how many of your customers that are hiring you for this service want prints of that stuff hanging in their house because it's obviously a little sensitive. That being
hmm.
said, there's a whole lot that actually do. And
Yeah.
so if you're not the one enabling them and helping them with the printing aspect of it, you're leaving money on the table, right?
Which I am a product based, so I try not to sell digitals if I can avoid it and have
Good.
priced them pretty high to discourage that. So
Good.
I believe in prints all day long. So
Okay,
luckily
good.
I already kind of have that
Good.
going.
Good,
Thank
good, good.
God.
Yeah, yeah. That's super important. And it's too easy with print on demand. And like, look, no one wants to deal with that. No one wants to go and find out where to get the canvas print or the acrylic print or the metal print. They just want you to be like, look, this is what the metal looks like. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's ready to hang. Okay. This is probably what you're looking for. You can put this in the shower and the steam can go all over it. It'll never hurt it. Like, they're looking for someone to answer those questions for them. So it's good that you're doing that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Whitney. All right. Who else, guys? Questions? I feel for like the last week. Oh, see, Rick, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm keeping it going. Go ahead, Rick. And you'll just need to hit the mic icon, Rick. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. Just Tap on it once and you should be good to go. You might be on the phone. If it's on the phone, it's somewhere on the bottom row, but it's just like you literally click the microphone. Yeah, I'm trying to get you there, Rick. I'm trying to get you there. You got to unmute yourself. It's on the bottom of the phone. Yep, got you.
Okay,
There we
can
go.
you hear me?
Now we got you.
Hi, Patrick. Hey, thank you for your presentation. It's terrific.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, you know, the video thing and these presentations, I think, are the way to go. As the more I learn about it, I'll give you an example of an idea I have, which is I have a friend, a personal friend, in person here where I live in the LA area, who he only knows my work when I post it on Facebook. He loves it. He told me, he said, if I had the money, I'd buy everything you painted. So
Awesome.
I had an idea. I'm going to invite him over, and the presentation is, hey, here's my friend Robbie, who's a big fan of my work. He's never seen it before, so we're going to walk around. I'm going to get his ideas and impressions. That's a bunch of ideas I have to just bring people in.
Yeah.
The other question is kind of more technical in terms of online stuff, and that would be, I'm on Facebook, but I have a Rick Dubov artist Facebook page. And I know for like roughly, I don't know, $35 for 7 days, you can get it to a larger audience.
No.
Oh, okay.
What you're asking me is whether or not you should boost a post, and the answer to that question is no.
Yeah, pretty much simply, yeah.
Yeah. So I live an hour south from where you live. I'm just down here in Orange County, and it doesn't really make as much sense. It doesn't make as much sense for us. But what I normally tell people when they're asking me whether or not they should boost a post, I say you might as well go out in the backyard and light that money on fire, because at least you'll get some warmth out of it. Now, you and I don't need the warmth because we live somewhere pretty warm, but that's effectively what boosting posts on Facebook and Instagram is. Don't do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, if I just put it up on Facebook, it's already not live streaming. Maybe I'll do those, but one that's done already, I post it. I've always been confused. Just get to Facebook friends or to a wider group of people, and if so, how do I get it to more viewers?
That's a very, very good question. So, it's somewhat ironic because sort of the landscape on it has just changed recently. So up until now, by which I mean, like, you know, the last, depending on which social network you're talking about, the only way for people to see your content that you created was to be a fan or a follower of you, or if somebody shared it, right? That was always helpful, and that was easy to do on social media. Or if you paid money, but not boosting posts, actually doing it the right way in the Facebook's ad manager. That was the only ways to get your content in front of eyeballs that do not follow you, right? Which is what everyone's looking for. And that's recently changed. And that's recently changed as nuance to a couple of different products that exist. And so the way that social media has worked over the years is that they're all at war with one another for attention. Facebook is at war with Instagram. Yes, I know they're the same company. Is at war with Google. Is at war with YouTube. Is at war with Pinterest. So they're all at war, and they're in the how they win the wars. They have more of our attention. Okay, and so what's happened recently is there's a new entrant into the landscape. It's a company out of China, believe it or not, and it's called TikTok. Okay, and TikTok has started doing extremely, extremely well with the younger demographic, and it's slowly started inching its way up to the higher demographic. And the nature of their product, TikTok's product, is you make videos and they show the videos to people that are following you, yes, but also to people that are not following you, okay? And TikTok has subtly and slowly been eroding into Instagram's market share, okay? And so Instagram looked at that and said, I know what we're going to do. We're going to copy TikTok for beta, which is what they did, right? And so you now, via a product on Instagram called Reels, and I'm sure you've probably seen them. Not that button, this button. So Reels, the way that Reels work is you can be on here and you can be scrolling in someone's feed, right? And let me find a reel, and here's one. So I can click on this one. Okay, I'm going to mute it so we don't have to hear it. I'm going to click out, And I started on that one person's, and now I'm instantaneously into someone else's. And as it turns out, I don't have any idea who this person is. I don't follow this person. There's a little button next to their name that says follow. And if I keep scrolling through, they're going to keep showing me new ones and new ones and new ones. Now, Instagram's job here is to keep me doing this for as long as humanly possible so it can show me ad after ad after ad after ad. So they're going to continue showing me not content from people that I follow, but the most engaging content that is on here possible, such that it'll keep me on longer. Why am I telling you all that? If you create reels right now, because Instagram is trying to kill TikTok, then you are going to get seen by a ton of people that don't follow you. So this is it. This is probably creating reels right now, especially as it pertains to Instagram. Instagram is without question the most important platform for selling wall art, at least right now in 2022, and has been for quite some time. So one of the particular areas in which you should focus your attention is in making reels for Instagram.
That's great. That's great. Thank you very much for that bit of info.
Yeah.
And I'll make room for other people. But by the way, I know you're in Orange County. I got my Master of Fine Arts degree from UC Irvine back in 1973.
Nice. I went to UCSD myself, so I'm also a product of the good old UCs.
Anyway, Patrick, thank you for your generous time. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's what I do. Yeah, the Instagram Reels are just a big deal right now. And while they're trying to kill TikTok, and TikTok is trying to kill Instagram, and it's all one giant war, there exists these like serendipitous little moments in time, especially in social media land, where for once our interests actually align with the interest of the social network. And on Instagram Reels, we're we're in one of those moments right now. So if you are social media marketing and you're taking it seriously and you are not creating reels, you are missing the boat, because what they represent at this moment in time is an ability to get free attention without having to pay for it. And it's not like that a lot of the time. So very, very important to start creating them. If you haven't started creating them, just go on and start looking at some, okay? You'll be thrown instantaneously into a sandbox. And what you can do is you can come on and just go into somebody's profile. You look in your regular feed until you find one, click in, and then just start following them. You can do that. But one of the other cool things that you can do is you can search, and so I can come in here and I can say, I already have the search here, abstract art, right? And so here I searched a tag in Instagram for abstract art. Now I'm going to click on one. And what this is going to do is it's going to send me down the abstract art rabbit hole. And essentially, by putting in the hashtag, I essentially just put in the TV channel for abstract art. And now I'm just browsing everything that exists that's out there for abstract art. And if I just consume like this, I just start as a consumer, right? Trying to understand, like, what are the things that are interesting? What are the things that I could potentially do? And then I get out of this channel and I get into another channel, right? And like pick whatever hashtag that you think relates to you and whatever you do, okay? They're just television channels. That's all they are at the end of the day. Jump into one, go down the rabbit hole, take some notes, then you start creating them. Once you start creating them, then you'll start getting feedback on like what's going on, like how good did they work, everything else. But just to tie a bow on it, Emily, and then I'm going to get your question. I think this is really interesting. And so we have this artist. She's a photographer, not a photographer. I'm sorry, a painter. Her art is so damn good. It looks like photography. She's one of those. Here she is. And so what's interesting is, so you look at her profile, right? Kelly Corbett, and she's an artist from BC, Vancouver. She's got 6,800 followers, right? And you go down and you look at the view counts on some of her reels. Got to get to the reels tab. And like, for instance, this one, 10,000. How did 10,000 people see that? She's not paying for ads. 10,000 people saw that because this one, for whatever reason, by the way, how good is her art? I mean, you can't even tell that that's not a photograph until you get really, really close. She's super good. She's been posting these things and they've been going fantastically well. And so she's not hindered in the slightest by the fact that she only has 6,000 followers. This made it to 10,000 people because she posted a reel and Instagram showed it to a bunch of people that had never seen it before. And so it represents a really, really fantastic moment in time and something you guys all should be doing that are on Instagram. And as I said, the game plan is just to follow, start consuming them, start creating them. Once you have a little feedback, you'll know what works. Okay, Emily, you're up. And you'll need to unmute, Emily.
Yepers.
Yepers.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten about you either, by the way. Don't worry.
Oh, it's okay.
I made a commitment to Emily, and I want to show her this. So I wouldn't be able to do this, okay, in 2 seconds if I didn't forget about you. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. So don't worry. I said I was going to do it. I challenged Emily to like run a live art show, and she ran one, which I still need to watch. I know it's in there and it's in the feed. I still need to watch it. Once I do, I will figure out what I'm going to buy from you. But go ahead. What's your question today?
Well, I'm glad you didn't forget me.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to ask, because you said before, like, so, TikTok is going on, Instagram's where it's at right now. Is there an opportunity, and should we be thinking about like getting in on the ground floor of TikTok when it comes to art?
Yeah, you could, and I think generally speaking, that's probably not a bad idea. But I think, okay, let's, let me just put it right out there for you. There's the Art Storefronts profile. How serious am I taking it right now? Not. And the reason I'm not is that I've got some other reasons, but it is an incredibly powerful platform. It is going to continue to grow and grow. I think. Okay. But right now, the majority of your art buyers are not there. Like the better and more consistent art buyers are on Instagram, and so I look at it through the lens of an artist, like just like you, and I look at it and I say, is she maximizing Instagram yet? Where the highest percentage of buyers and potential collectors are for her art? If the answer is no, then don't waste too much time on TikTok. Well, you can give some margin time to TikTok. I kind of think of it like plant the seed and then water it a little bit every week, but don't be watering it all damn day. Water it a little bit, slow cook it,
Live stuff like TikTok, like I don't know if it's live. This stuff scares me because I'm afraid I'm gonna be live and not know it, and I'm gonna be like this,
Yeah, just get over it. Get over it.
I don't know how to use it. It scares me because I'm afraid that I'm gonna do something live when I don't mean to be live. So
yeah, I would say just get over that.
Another element that I was thinking about in that regard, though, is that TikTok is generally younger people right now.
Yes.
So
it's a platform in transition, though. It's going older and older and older.
Right. So just like grown-ups ruined Facebook, eventually grown-ups are going to ruin TikTok and be in TikTok, or those people who are younger now are going to grow up to be art buyers who have their first big boy jobs, who want to spend money they never had before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's elements there that's making me consider.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I totally understand. I think you should water it. I just don't think you should water it too much until you maximize Instagram. That's what I think.
Because I've seen.
I just realized I have a swear word on my little thing there. That wasn't nice. Go ahead.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you swear.
Oh, there was something in the social media feed that had a big F-bomb on it, and it's like, yep. Now that kind of stuff happens on lives, but the being caught otherwise, like, no, not so much.
Because I do know that one of my favorite local artists, he makes his stuff on TikTok, but then videos on TikTok, but then ends up sharing it to Instagram. And it's like, okay, you're not doing double work, triple work.
Yeah, you got to be really, really careful with that. Now the issue, okay, the issue, and this is not like a wildly known or guided trade secret, but so when you go and you make a video on TikTok, right? And TikTok, because it's evil and Chinese and wants to come after all of us and dominate, saves the video, okay? Saves the video with the TikTok branding on your phone without even asking. Thanks for that, okay? Tyrants. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is that when you do that, I've got one here. When you do that, you get a video. There it is. That looks like this, and you see like the little TikTok branding. It's like midway through in the left-hand side, and then it's on the right-hand side. So that's TikTok's way of attempting to grow in the attention wars, right? Which is really, really smart. But now when Instagram or Facebook sees that, they're like, nope, don't show that to as many people. Absolutely not, because I am not giving them a free ride. So it's one of those things that I mean, if it's the difference between posting and not posting, do it. But otherwise I wouldn't do it. And I look and we're on this account, we're still new to Reels, but it's like, okay, this row that in the middle that I'm showing right now, right? 4,000 views, 2,200 views, 4,000 views, right? Do you know what the one in the middle has? The TikTok branding, right? So it officially pulled down the reach of that just because it added in there. So that's a no, generally speaking.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And one more thing, if
Yes.
you are seriously looking at my stuff,
Mhm.
not all of my stuff is on Etsy.
Totally understand.
Because a lot of my stuff's in exhibits right now.
Yep.
So they're on Instagram. If you like, you got to ask me about it, because I got to know where it is or when it's going to be available.
Yep.
So just a heads up.
Yep. And I totally will. And I'm just telling you, I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's on my list. You're on my list. So
well, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, Emily.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you.
Yeah. I could rant about the social media sites all day long. Tyrannical, some of them. Interesting question from Facebook. So, not the Isaac John Johnson one, which is interesting in and of itself. Yeah, Leo, I do still believe in the warm audiences. They're like running ads on Facebook and Instagram to warm traffic can and should not be any different than the cable bill at your house. You start doing it and you don't stop. And so I still find it to be incredibly effective. If it changed, I'd let you know. I don't think it's changed yet. So that's what I'd say in terms of that anyway. But who else, guys? Questions, comments, concerns? All right. I see that little hand helping there, Mia. Mia was getting a big kick out of me, showing the giant F-bomb on the thing, which I actually thought was pretty funny too. You can't help it sometimes. You can't help it. But go ahead. Yeah. Oh, I think you unmuted and then you have to get IT back.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. We good?
Yeah, your guys are good. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Heard. Okay. So we're accomplished artists,
Mhm.
but we're not good when it comes down to creating a website. I don't know anything about technology.
Okay.
So,
to an extent.
well, when it comes to, come on, B-Rod,
All right,
get
so
over here.
I'm gonna come in.
You
What
know,
is okay?
so-
Let's do some definitions first. What does established artist mean? Explain that to me, as you guys would.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well, established artist means that we are basically, we're not giving up of a business or anything like that, but
Mhm.
we make prints for our own artwork and sell it, and it works out good. But at the same time, we need a way to kind of figure out how to do more of the technology aspect of it when it comes down to selling stuff, because it's
Yeah,
it
like
only
we
goes
were-
like one way.
So we were in Instagram and Facebook. We're doing that whole thing back in the day,
Mhm.
and then we're like, you know what? Let's drop off the grid. And
Mhm.
let's get away from Facebook, and then we stopped doing Instagram.
Okay.
Right.
But then coming into actually now the new age of selling, and what you've been talking about is that unfortunately you have to get back into it.
Yeah, you do. The way that I like to describe it is like
I know. I'm like,
we're all we're look. I'm not trying to hawk software. You're not trying to hawk art. We're all just fishermen, right? And we get down to the docks in the morning, and we have to get on the damn boat, and we have to drive the damn boat to where the fish are, and we have to be contrarian about it, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
I know. It's like, even if you just don't want to participate in it.
Oh, I get it. Trust me. I am a social media expert, and I have not shared anything personally on any of my social media accounts in like 15 years.
Yeah.
I hate
It's
it.
like,
I think it's all about what you're doing now. It's stopped becoming personal.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming a business.
Yeah. Well, it's always fundamentally been about attention, right? Like, it's why I said what I said in the presentation. Like, the whole ball game is currency. Like you guys are sitting here going like, I don't really understand the technology or a website, and I'm like, guys, you don't have a website problem. You don't have a website problem. If I'm the genie that came out of the lamp right now, and I'm like, boom, I will move your website wherever you want, 24 hours. You know what changes in your business? Nothing. You don't have a website problem. You have a marketing problem. And until we fix that, trust me, I've been doing this for years.
You do marketing in New York. You're absolutely right. And
Yes.
I guess I feel a little embarrassed because I used to do marketing in New York, and it was like one of those things where it's like.
And at that time it was great, and all of a sudden,
But when you start
Yeah.
trying to market your own artwork, that becomes a different, because I was marketing something totally different.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So marketing your own work, that's where it gets a little
shy. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah.
It's not shy. It's
No.
just,
It's difficult. I mean, the heuristic, the easiest heuristic to think about it is, whatever you guys want to do the least, is what will make the biggest impact in the business. And do you know what you two, as well as every other person on this call, wants to do the least? Any marketing or any of the business side of it. I mean, if I could ask everyone whether or not they would want to pull the lever that says, you get to just be creative and create, and someone else gets to take care of all the rest of it, that is called a hobby. That is not called a business. That is called a hobby.
Copy.
Yeah. And that is just it.
Another business question about artwork, selling your own artwork.
Yes.
Let's say you were doing like you took a just like any good artist, kind of, let's say, steals, maybe borrows from other artists.
Well,
so when it comes down to taking a print of something and kind of refigurating it, making it your own, is that a liability when it comes down to copyright, or is it like
I would tell you, and I have to do a disclaimer, I am not a lawyer or capable of giving legal advice, nor does this constitute legal advice, nor do I know what I'm talking about. I like to err on the easier to beg forgiveness than ask permission protocol. Okay. What will inevitably end up happening is you will go making those things. And then after you go and make those things, and you see some level of success, you're going to get a nice little letter in the mailbox that says cease and desist or something like that. At which point in time, you have a decision to make. In the meantime, I would rather you do that and ship that than do nothing. So don't get hung up. Don't get hung up on the nonsense. The only thing you want to get hung up on is, what am I doing today to get more of my work out there?
Right.
Exactly. I understand.
And the worst thing that you're doing is nothing.
Oh yeah.
So why don't you do something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I concur.
Third. Awesome.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I love your pyramid. We actually just got in a little bit late on your presentation. That pyramid was absolutely amazing. Yeah. And just to let everybody know, I agree with him. The first one is attention. Attention,
yeah. Currency of the land that we live in. So true.
Yep.
So true. But it's also, it's also why they made the rant on Reels, and like why Reels are so powerful right now. Like there's not usually opportunities in social media land. Like if you're talking about like, the Facebook page or the Instagram account or the email list, do you know how those things are built? One email, one fan, one follower at a time, and it's tedious and it's grind and it takes a long time, right? Yeah. But the fact that you can supercharge that right now is a big, big deal, and it really just is. It makes it super effective to sell art. The report that I cited in the video, which was like that thing by Art Basel and UBS Global. There's one other one called the Hiscox report. And they're the two biggest reports that get put out every single solitary year, and it's like even the highest of the high net worth individuals that buy art, pieces over six figures up to several million. I've watched like year over year over years, the little bar graph of those folks getting interviewed saying, what role did social media play in your purchase, if any? And then also, what was the most important social media platform? The social media has gone up, and Instagram has grown in prominence. And, one of the things that I talk about all the time is like, when we see or hear about a book or an audio book, or we see or hear about a product and get exposed to a product, and we want to go do the credit check. What is the credit check? We go to Amazon and we read the reviews, right? Mm-hmm. In the art world, if I somehow get sucked into your guys' ecosystem, okay, and I hear about you, even if you have a website, the first thing that I do is I go to your website and I don't want to look at it. I just want to find you on Instagram and follow you. Are you interesting? Right? And one of the things that we do for our customers, because we even have like we have an in-house marketing agency. We don't talk about it all the time, but we do. The Instagram profile that comes with it is like its own. Sorry, I don't know who that dude is. Its own credit check, right? So people come on, and number one, and think of the reviews in your head, right? And it's like the same kind of thing when we go to Amazon. Does it have a lot of reviews? Oh my God, it has no reviews. I'm out. Do they have a lot of followers? Oh, they have no followers. I'm out, right? Does the listing look legit? Does the profile photo, is it in focus? In our case, it's a logo. We're a business, not like you guys. Or does it look quality? Is there a catchy tagline? Do they have the Instagram story highlights? These are all just parts of the general credit check. You know what I mean?
So it's not about the story on your on. Let's say you go to our website and you hit on the our story or about us.
Those play a role too. Make no mistake about it. Those play a role too. But Instagram has just become really, really important in terms of an overall credit check for the business. It just has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Oh yeah.
And you two were cracking me up, so I appreciate the laughs. I muted you guys again, so I know I can't hear you, but you're. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah, good. Thank you, guys. All right. What else? What did I not cover, or did cover? I don't know. No, Rick's coming back for round 2. All right, come on back, Rick.
Yeah, one quick question, Patrick. Good information about the Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
Is there a limitation on the length of the video you put on?
Yeah, there is. Instagram Reels are limited to 1 minute.
1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think if I do them a regular, if I do them on Facebook, not on the Facebook artist page, but just a regular post, I think I can get longer. No.
Oh yeah. You can go hours with a regular video.
Real quickly, 1 minute maximum. That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, those are on Reels. Yeah, and I mean, look, the easiest way to think of a social network is, I really like this analogy, but the social network is kind of like the Russian dolls. They're called Matryoshka dolls. The doll within the doll within the doll within the doll.
Yeah.
So the social network can kind of be thought of that same way. There's social networks within the social networks within the social networks. And perhaps an easier analogy, this is the analogy that I like, is like, when you go into a party and you walk into the front door and, there's some people hanging out in the kitchen and there's some people hanging out in the living room and maybe in the den. And then there's some people that are in the backyard and they tend to just hang in their little area and they stay in their little area, right? So to the social networks, Instagram. There are certain people that walk in there, right? And, they come onto the platform and they go right under the backyard, which are the stories. And they don't look at anything else. They just come on because that's the social network to them. They come on and they just look at stories and they look at stories all day and they check them out and that's what they do and that's what their friends post and then they're out and then they're gone. There's other people that come on and they just look at the feed, right? And so they just scroll through the feed and they look at the various different posts and that's a social network to them. Meta, which now owns Facebook and Instagram, just came out and said that 20% of the time spent on the platform is spent exclusively on Reels. And so you've got a bunch of people now that are literally just coming on to watch the Reels. That's it. That's all they do. They're coming on to watch the Reels, kind of like that house. And so that's what they do. So, it's important to have your music playing in all the rooms. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, great.
Yeah, wonderful. I just came up with the music playing in all the rooms on the fly. I'm going to write that down. I think that's a good one too. All right, guys, I think we'll leave it there. I think that was awesome. We are having a huge sale right now, which the people were asking me about it in the comments. I don't even know what the doggone details are on it. I can't remember all these things. The summer sale, yeah. Early bird summer sale. Which is a really, really good time to get in, independent if you sign up or not. The reason it's a good time to get in is because fundamentally this business, and especially the ones that are successful at it, are the ones that run the most sales. One of the biggest sales of the entire year is coming up, and it's not even what you think it is. Not even close to what you think it is. You know what it is? It's a sale you run at the same time that they run Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day has become like the third biggest. It's the third biggest retail sale day in the entire world. Number 1 is Singles Day in China, 11/11, holiday made out of thin cloth. Number 2, I believe, is either Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And third is Prime Day, and huge art selling holiday, massive. And all we do is we just run a sale the same time Amazon and Bezos are running their Prime Day sale, and it works absolutely fantastic. So we have 100% of our customer base run a sale during that time, and Amazon spends so much money on the advertising and has everyone's attention. They get everyone whipped into a frenzy for that sale, and the credit cards are just out. And the smart folks amongst us are the ones that understand that and are ready for that. So there's time to get your site up, running, ready, rolling, and get going for that sale. But you can request a demo. We got buttons everywhere, all over everything. I'm going to send you the replay to this thing shortly thereafter. So for any of you that missed anything, you can go back, watch it, and there'll be links to all the cool stuff in there. I got a ton of really cool links on the page, so you should definitely check those out. On that note, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your days.